Hello, sir. How you doing? Thank you very much. It's an honor for me. We're here this new Pink Floyd exhibition. Well, it's not new. It's been around for a while. But I was reading that was very important for you, even in terms of going back to play some music, because after you went to the first one in London, you say, I gotta play again. So that was the origin of Sorcerer for the Secrets, your new band. So can you talk a little bit about this exhibition and how important it is for you?
Well, probably we should start by saying that I very nearly spoilt this ever happening initially, because the director of the V&A came to me and said they were interested in putting together an exhibition. And I didn't think we could do it because I didn't think we had the items to display. I had no idea how many people had just got one or two things, and we could actually assemble so much equipment and so many pictures and so much information, really. And once it got started, I absolutely loved it, because it was great to work with all these people we'd worked with for many years. Storm and Poe from Hypnosis, and Mark Fisher from Stewfish. And it just seemed an opportunity to do something really different, in fact. But you're right, it also reminded me that what I really like about music is playing it. And the one thing that a museum doesn't supply, I mean, you can supply the recorded music, but it's not live.
So what about the band? Is the band still active? Because I know that you have to postpone the last European tour in 2020 because, of course, of the pandemic. Are you planning already of going back to the stages?
We are absolutely planning to get back on the road. In fact, what we intend to do is start rehearsing next month, so that we're ready and in a position to start thinking about doing it. And our intention is to start an American tour in 2022 as early as possible.
And how does it feel to be doing this again? I mean, you have this new exhibition during the war. You're back in the stage. You're playing. I watched a video of say the concert of the Heart of the Sun. It's a quite complicated song, and you're playing it very well. So you still have it, right?
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's as I say, it must be sort of 2 years since we were actually playing live. But it's something for me, that's always been the very best part of being in this industry, is playing music to a live audience. And the sooner we can get back to that, the better.
Besides everything that happened in the band, I mean, everybody knows the story of the band. Do you still see that there's a chance that we might see all the guys, the surviving members, playing together in the stage? Or?
I can't see it at the moment, but having said that, you never know. I mean, I would never have thought that we would have played together at Live 8.
Yeah.
But we did. It would require a change of heart, I suppose, between David and Roger for it to happen. I'd do it tomorrow, very happily, but they're not ready to do it.
What would you like people to remember? I mean, people love your drumming, but what would you like people to remember most about your what you did with Pink Floyd?
I suppose it's a band, so it's unlikely people are just going to remember one instrument. It would be foolish to think that the drumming is going to be the thing that will be remembered. I think it'll be what at the time was a fairly new concept, which was the idea of making something that was more than just individual songs separated by 3-second bands of silence. And it'll be something like Dark Side because of its construction, really. I think that's probably what we'll be best remembered for. Dark Side, The Wall, the same thing. again, of something that's a bit more than one song. It's a concept.
Do you listen to new bands?
Not very often. It's not because I don't like them. Some of them are great, but actually, inevitably, if you're listening to music, you go for what you really love. And I'm not scouting for new talent, so I'll be playing Joni Mitchell or Jimi Hendrix or Janis Joplin or all the people that were my contemporaries.
I know that you wrote something very nice about like Charlie Watts recently on social media. And then he was, I mean, you started listening to like early rock and roll, right? Even if then you start like playing like more complicated stuff on the drum set, but that was nice. I mean, he was a legend too.
He was really one of those sort of underrated drummers. But actually what he did for the Rolling Stones was truly brilliant. It was so perfect that it demands recognition.
For how long do you think that you're going to be still playing the drums?
Oh, I don't know.
It's a demanding thing, right? It's complicated.
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed that I'll play until I can't, I suppose. It's inevitable sooner or later, but I won't be able to. But I think we won't worry about that one.
I know that Pink Floyd played in Mexico City, I think, in '94 during the Division Bell tour. That was probably the only time that they played there. But do you have any story related to the Latino world, Latino music, or anything that you could tell us?
Well, I mean, I think, I have to say, supported by LP percussion, and I absolutely love the sounds of Latin percussion, and it's one of those things that I'd always talked about going and doing a course in learning how to play some of that. I mean, the main thing though is that we'd like to, it's something maybe the Sources could do, is go and play in some of those South American countries that we've never been to, because with Floyd we never really, we tended never to tour enough. And when we did tour, it always tended to be North America and Europe, and that was about it. And I'd love to actually do a full South American tour.
And how interesting for you is that there's a lot of Latino fans of Pink Floyd. I mean, even if the music is not like commercial or is the music, I mean, it's a very peculiar type of music, very British and everything, but there's a lot of people in Latin America that love it.
Maybe it's a European thing, a sort of connection through Europe and the Mediterranean and Spain and so on, that has something that appeals.
Thank you very much, sir.
Pleasure.